I remember when we found the place. It was this two-bedroom corner unit on the third floor, with big windows that let the afternoon sun paint everything in gold. It wasn't perfect, but it felt like a fresh start. A little expensive, maybe, but my wife, Renee, was smitten the moment we walked through the door. I should have paid more attention to the way she looked at the place, like it held some secret she couldn't wait to unwrap. Renee and I had been married for almost 4 years. Things weren't bad, exactly, but they weren't how they used to be. She was distant in a way I couldn't quite touch. We talked less, touched even less than that, but she always had an excuse: stress from work, hormones, bad sleep. I believed her, mostly. I wanted to. When she insisted on handling the lease paperwork by herself, I didn't think twice. "You hate the paperwork stuff," she said with a soft laugh, brushing my hair from my forehead. "Let me handle it, baby." So I let her. She met the landlord, Julian, a few days later. She said he was professional, even charming in a sleazy way. "He looks like the type that still uses Axe body spray," she joked. I laughed too hard at the time, like it would chase away the weird feeling I had in my gut. That weekend, she was gone longer than expected. He needed some signatures, and we talked about a few things, she said when she came back, cheeks flushed and voice too high-pitched. "You wouldn't believe how picky he is about noise levels." Later that night, I found her standing in front of the bathroom mirror in her robe, gently pressing her lips with her fingers like they were bruised. She said she was just trying a new lipstick. I told myself to stop imagining things. Over the next few weeks, she seemed lighter. She laughed more. She sang to herself while making coffee. She started wearing perfume again, something floral and soft, something she hadn't worn since the early days of our marriage. I told myself it was the new apartment. That maybe the move really had been the spark we needed. But the landlord kept showing up. Always with a reason, checking the wiring, following up on the plumbing, asking about the thermostat. Julian was around so often I half-joked that he should just start paying rent. Renee would laugh it off, say he was just hands-on, say I was being paranoid. I'd come home from work to find them talking on the balcony or in the kitchen, always just finishing a conversation. Then one night, I saw it. I came home early. A cancelled meeting, traffic in my favor. I walked in quietly, no particular reason, just the habit of a man who's learned not to expect much. I heard the low murmur of voices and paused at the hallway. Her laugh cut through the air, soft and breathy. I moved slowly, almost scared of what I'd see. There they were. Renee, leaning back against the kitchen island, her hand resting lightly on Julian's chest. His hand was on her waist, fingers tracing little circles like he had every right to touch her. They weren't kissing, not quite, but they weren't far. It was the kind of moment that hums with everything you wish wasn't real. I backed away before they saw me. That night, I didn't say a word. I ate dinner like a ghost. She asked how my day was, and I mumbled something about spreadsheets. She smiled like everything was fine. Like I wasn't sitting there watching the woman I loved turn into a stranger in front of me. I told myself I needed proof. That I couldn't blow up my marriage over a maybe. But deep down, I already knew. The next day, I didn't go to work. I pretended I was sick, called in with that half-choked voice you use when you want to sound worse than you are. I spent the morning sitting in my car across the street, waiting to see if Julian would show up again. He did. Right on cue. It was almost noon when his silver SUV pulled into the lot. He had the nerve to carry takeout bags in one hand, like he was her boyfriend bringing lunch. I watched him knock twice, casually, like he'd done it 100 times before. The door opened. Renee let him in without hesitation. She was barefoot, in that old oversized shirt she used to wear just for me. I couldn't sit there anymore. I drove to a nearby park, my stomach twisting itself into knots. It wasn't about just catching them. It was the helplessness, the slow-motion car crash I couldn't look away from. The silence between us over the past few months now screamed at me, echoing in every memory. By evening, I returned home like everything was normal. Renee greeted me with a kiss on the cheek, warm and careful. She'd cleaned, cooked, even lit candles. She was trying, in some warped way. Maybe guilt, maybe control. Maybe both. I didn't touch my food. After dinner, I told her I had something to ask. When we signed the lease, I started, keeping my voice steady. Were you alone with Julian? Her eyes flickered, just for a second. Yeah, she said too quickly. Just for the paperwork, nothing weird. I stared at her. Did you sleep with him? The words felt like broken glass in my mouth. She froze. What kind of question is that? She whispered, her face draining of color. An honest one, I said. So give me an honest answer. She looked away, hand rising instinctively to her mouth. It only happened once, she said, almost inaudibly. It was during the lease signing. It wasn't planned. He made a move and I didn't stop it. Silence. I felt something inside me snap, not anger, not pain, just a quiet detachment. Like cutting the final thread on something that was already fraying. I trusted you, I said. Even when things got cold, I still believed we could fix it. I didn't mean for it to go that far, she said, tears forming. It was a moment. I don't even care about him. That's the worst part, I replied. It meant nothing, and you still did it. She reached for my hand, but I stood up before she could touch me. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I walked into the bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag, and started packing. She begged me to stay, said we could talk, said she'd do anything. You already did, I said. I moved into a friend's spare room that night. The next morning, I called the property management and told them I'd be removing my name from the lease. The guy on the phone, different voice, someone professional, told me I'd need Renee and Julian's signatures to make it official. That detail didn't even sting anymore. It just confirmed what I already knew. In the weeks that followed, she kept trying to reach me. Long texts, missed calls, one rambling voicemail where she sobbed and said she still loved me. I never responded. I started therapy. I got back to hobbies I'd let die. I started sleeping through the night again, even if the bed felt too big at first. There's still pain, of course there is. But there's also clarity. I wasn't perfect, but I didn't deserve betrayal as a reward for my patience. They say time heals everything. I don't know if that's true. But I do know that some wounds at least stop bleeding after a while. And the silence, once so heavy, now feels like peace.